Have you ever wondered if that small nickel in your pocket could actually be worth a fortune? Well, today you're about to find out. Some Jefferson nickels, the humble 5-cent coins we use every day, have turned out to be worth thousands, and in some rare cases, even millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. These coins may look ordinary, but hidden among them are rare varieties, minting errors, and limited editions that collectors would pay a fortune to own. So before you spend your change, make sure you don't have one of these incredible nickels that could change your life forever. Before we jump into the world of million-dollar Jefferson nickels, let's take a short look at the history of this fascinating coin. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it has been a cornerstone of American pocket change ever since. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin proudly features the portrait of the third U.S. President, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, while the reverse shows his famous Virginia home, Monticello. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel has witnessed wartime changes in composition, special mint marks, and several design updates, each chapter adding its own story to the coin's legacy. This rich history is what makes certain nickels so rare and valuable today, because small differences in design, metal content, and minting errors can transform an ordinary 5-cent coin into a treasure worth thousands, or even millions. The very first Jefferson nickel that takes the spotlight is none other than the 1939D, reverse of 1938 nickel, a true treasure in American coinage. To most people, it may look like just another old 5-cent piece, but collectors know this coin hides an incredible secret that makes it worth a fortune. In 1939, the U.S. Mint introduced a new, sharper design of Monticello on the reverse of the nickel. The older design, called the reverse of 1938, had weaker details, flatter steps, and less depth. For just a short time, the Denver Mint accidentally struck nickels using this older reverse paired with the 1939 date. This created an extremely rare combination known as the 1939D, reverse of 1938. Why is it valuable? Because only a limited number were ever produced, and far fewer have survived in high grades. Most nickels from circulation are worn out and worth only face value. But when a pristine example of this coin shows up, collectors go into a bidding war. Auctions have seen gem-quality specimens of the 1939D, reverse of 1938 sell for jaw-dropping amounts, sometimes over $40,000 to $50,000. In the world of nickels, this is like hitting the jackpot. That is the magic of this Jefferson nickel. It proves that rarity and history can turn even a 5-cent coin into a collector's dream worth tens of thousands of dollars. The next Jefferson nickel on our list is one of the most fascinating and valuable era coins in U.S. history, the D. Over horizontal D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary wartime nickel minted in Denver, but closer inspection reveals one of the most dramatic minting errors ever made. Here's what happened. When mint workers punched the D mint mark on the die, it was accidentally struck sideways, horizontally before being punched again in the correct upright position. The result is a double D where you can clearly see traces of the sideways mint mark beneath the correct one. This rare variety was created entirely by mistake, but that mistake turned into a golden opportunity for collectors. Why is it valuable? Because error coins like this are highly prized, and the 1942 D over horizontal D is among the rarest of them all. Combine that with the fact that 1942 was the year the U.S. Mint switched from regular nickel-copper composition to wartime silver alloy for coinage, and you have a historic and highly collectible piece. In circulated condition, this coin can already bring in thousands of dollars. But in pristine uncirculated grades, the 1942 D over horizontal D nickel has shocked the numismatic world by selling for over $30,000 to $40,000 at auction. Some examples with exceptional detail and luster have pushed even higher, making it one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever discovered. Just imagine, you could be holding what looks like an ordinary 5-cent coin from the 1940s, but in reality, it could be worth more than a luxury car. The next Jefferson nickel that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide is the 1943 P double-die nickel. At first glance, it might seem like any other wartime nickel, but when you take a closer look at Jefferson's portrait, you'll notice something extraordinary. His eye appears doubled. This dramatic doubling was the result of a die error at the Philadelphia Mint in 1943. During the process of hubbing the dies, the image shifted slightly, creating a doubled impression. The most striking part of this doubling occurred on Jefferson's eye, making it look like he has two overlapping pupils. This gave rise to the famous nickname, the doubled-eye nickel. Why is it valuable? because error coins like this are extremely collectible, especially when the doubling is bold and easy to see. The 1943p nickel is also special because during World War II, the US Mint changed the coin's composition from nickel and copper to a 35% silver alloy. Since nickel was needed for the war effort, this wartime silver composition already makes these coins interesting to collectors, but the doubled I error makes them priceless. In circulated grades, the 1943p doubled I nickel can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on condition, but in pristine mint state with sharp details, this coin has fetched upwards of $10,000 to $15,000 at major auctions. For a coin that once cost only 5 cents, that is a staggering return. So next time you spot a 1943 nickel with that large mint mark above Monticello, check Jefferson's eye carefully. You might just be staring into the doubled gaze of a coin worth a small fortune. When it comes to rarity, few Jefferson nickels can match the fame of the 1950D nickel. Unlike error coins, this one is valuable because of its extremely low mintage. In fact, it holds the title of the lowest minted regular Jefferson nickel ever released for circulation. Here's the story. In 1950, the Denver Mint struck only 2,630 nickels, which is an incredibly small number, compared to the hundreds of millions produced in other years. As soon as collectors found out about this unusually low mintage, they began hoarding the coins straight from banks and rolls, tucking them away before they ever had the chance to circulate widely. Because of that, finding a 1950D in worn condition is actually harder than finding one in uncirculated condition. Why is it valuable? Scarcity drives demand, and the 1950D quickly became a key date in the Jefferson Nickel series. Even today, it remains one of the most sought-after coins for anyone trying to complete a Jefferson Nickel collection. In circulated condition, this coin can sell for $20 to $50. But the real shock comes in higher grades. In pristine mint state condition, especially with full steps on Monticello, the 1950D, nickel has sold for $15,000 to $20,000 or more at auctions. For a coin that originally cost just 5 cents, the 1950D has become a legendary investment. Among all Jefferson nickels, the 1964 SMS nickel stands out as one of the rarest and most mysterious coins ever discovered. In 1964, the US Mint did not officially release any special mint sets for collectors. Instead, only regular proof coins and business strike nickels were produced. Yet somehow, a tiny handful of 1964 nickels exist with an unusual satin-like finish, razor-sharp details, and unique die characteristics. These coins are now known as the 1964 SMS nickels, and they are priceless rarities. Why is it so valuable? The origin of the 1964 SMS coins remains a mystery. Many experts believe they were experimental strikes or special test coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint as the mint prepared for the 1965-1967 SMS issues. Only a very limited number, possibly less than 20, are known to exist today. Because of this extreme rarity, whenever one comes up for auction, it sends shockwaves through the collecting world. In average grades, this coin doesn't even exist on the market, but in superb condition, the few verified examples have sold for over $30,000 to $40,000 each. Some pieces with outstanding surfaces and full steps have even crossed the $50,000 mark. For a coin that technically was never supposed to exist, the 1964 SMS nickel has become a legendary prize, almost mythical in the world of US coinage. Imagine holding a coin that not only carries the history of a turbulent minting era but also remains shrouded in mystery. That's exactly what makes the 1964 SMS Jefferson Nickel one of the most valuable nickels in existence. One of the rarest modern Jefferson nickels ever struck is the 1971 No-S proof nickel. Proof coins are specially made by the US Mint with sharp details and mirror-like surfaces, and they always carry a mint mark to show where they were made. By 1971, all proof nickels were being struck at the San Francisco Mint, which meant they should carry a small S mint mark on the obverse of the coin. But in an incredible mistake, a few proof dies were made without the mint mark, and several hundred nickels were struck with no S at all. Why is it valuable? Because proof coins are carefully made and sold directly to collectors. Mistakes almost never happen. That makes the 971 No-S Jefferson nickel one of the most spectacular mint errors in US history. Collectors prize it not only for its rarity, but also because it's a glaring error on a proof coin, a series where perfection is expected. The value of this nickel is nothing short of amazing. In average proof grades, it already sells for $800 to $2,500. But in the highest proof grades with deep cameo contrast, this coin has reached over $10,000 to $15,000 at major auctions. considering that proof sets originally cost just a few dollars. Owning a no-mint mark proof nickel from 1971 could easily turn your small investment into a life-changing treasure. The 1994p matte-proof Jefferson Nickel is one of the most underrated treasures of modern U.S. coinage. Unlike the mirror-like proofs we usually think of, this coin has a special matte finish, a soft, satin-like texture with sharp, frosted details that make it stand out immediately. It was never released to the general public in circulation or even in normal proof sets. Instead, it was included only in the special 1993 Thomas Jefferson coinage and currency set, which was sold by the U.S. Mint to honor Jefferson's legacy. Why is it valuable? Because only 167,703 sets were produced, which makes the 1994p matte-proof nickel extremely scarce compared to millions of regular nickels struck each year. On top of that, many collectors open the sets for the $2 Federal Reserve note that came with them, while the nickels were forgotten, making high-grade survivors even harder to find. The value of this coin is impressive. While a typical Jefferson nickel is worth only 5 cents, the 1994p matte-proof can easily sell for $400 to $1,000 depending on condition. In the highest grades certified by professional grading services, it has sold for well over $1,500. For a coin barely 3 decades old, that's a serious return on investment. Collectors love this nickel because it combines low mintage, special finish, and historical significance all in one coin. It's a modern rarity that proves valuable. Nickels aren't just from the 1930s and 1940s, but can be found even in the late 20th century. One of the most eye-catching and valuable modern Jefferson nickels is the 2005 D-Speared Bison nickel. As part of the Westward Journey nickel series celebrating Lewis and Clark's expedition, the U.S. Mint released a special design in 2005 featuring an American bison on the reverse. At first, everything seemed normal until sharp-eyed collectors noticed something strange. A bold die gouge had created a raised line running straight through the body of the bison, making it look as though the animal had been struck with a spear. This dramatic error quickly earned the nickname the Speared Bison Nickel. Why is it valuable? Because error coins are usually subtle, but the Speared Bison error is so bold that it can be seen without magnification. Its striking appearance and limited survival numbers made it one of the most popular modern mint errors in recent memory. Add to that the fact that it was discovered in rolls and change across the country, and you get a coin that caused a modern-day treasure hunt among collectors. In circulated condition, the 2005 D-Speared Bison can bring $200 to $500, but in pristine mint state grades, this nickel has sold for over $1,000 to $2,500. Some top-graded examples have even crossed the $5,000 market auction, making it one of the most valuable nickels of the 21st century. What makes this coin truly exciting is that it's modern, it's from pocket change, and it's instantly recognizable. And there you have it, the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever struck. Coins that prove even something as small as a 5-cent piece can hold a fortune. From rare minting errors like the 1942 D, over horizontal D, and the 2005 Speared Bison, to legendary low mintage treasures like the 1950 D, each of these nickels tells a story of history, rarity, and unbelievable value. Some have sold for thousands, and a few have even crossed into the $1,000,000 range, changing the lives of the lucky people who discovered them. So the next time you get change at the store or open an old jar of coins, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding one of these hidden treasures in your hand. That one nickel could be the key to turning your pocket change into a life-changing fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories. And don't forget to check your change, because the next valuable Jefferson nickel could be waiting for you.